Alright, I've grinded up 1,200 gems. Arceus be with me. Let's see if we can get the best character in Pokemon Masters. Nope. Unlucky. Maybe a little lucky. Dang. Nah, I'm just kidding. Dang, I've actually gotten 30 free-to-play Sync Scouts so far, and none of them have been Will. So Will is the best character in the game. I'm going to be talking more about why in this video. But one thing that's really interesting is that if you're going for a specific sync pair, it's actually harder to get an individual 4-star pair than it is to get an individual 5-star pair, just because of how the odds break down. But getting Will is just over 1%, and that means that quite a few people watching this video are going to have access to Will. Now, if you already have Will, don't forget to leave a like on this video and comment down below. I want to see how it's been going, and even if you don't have Will, leave a comment. Tell me how your sync pair scouting has been going in general. Have you gotten any of the characters that you've been looking for? Has there been a character that's really surprised you, like you didn't think they'd be good, and now they're your primary carry, or something like that? Or are you just using the free-to-play characters because Karina is still super busted? My luck has been kind of strange, to be honest. I have like 3 rolls on Marley, and she actually seems to be pretty usable in the late game, but other than that, I have like a couple 3 rolls, but a lot of missing characters. It's just a weird game. Now, if you've already gotten Will, that's super lucky, that's super awesome, but even if you haven't gotten Will, I still recommend watching the entirety of this video, because I think Will unlocks a lot of the potential about Pokemon Masters. By understanding what he does, it might be easier for you to beat very hard super courses, to progress in the late game, do very hard like co-op courses and all stuff like that, because there's some really crazy interactions, and also maybe one day you're going to get Will, and then that's when you use your resources. Now, for starters, Will and Xatu are a tech sync pair, which means every time you see a tech course, just do all of them for the super courses. I mean, you should be doing every super course anyways, but maybe get a little bit of that optimism. Maybe decide to spend a couple bucks on this game, and then you have a better chance of getting Will because of that. Or maybe one day you get Will, and you're going to be very happy that you will already have the resources. That way you can max him out as soon as possible. But what makes Will such a good character? Well, a lot of it is in the passive skill. Stats cannot be lowered. This is insane. I can't wait to see if like we get Generation 2 or like the future sync pairs, other characters that have this ability, because one of the most devastating things that happens in the game is that you're trying to build up, you're trying to stack up, you're trying to rush out some moves, and then your opponent in like a very, like just in general, hard super course you're not ready for, very hard super course, co-op, storyline, they use a sync move and they wipe out all of those stats you've been going for. Plus 6 speed, plus 6 offenses, critical hit rate, all kinds of wild bonuses going on, and they just get wiped out, and then your opponent gets buffed because that's what happens after a sync move is used, and that really makes it to where you have to have a wild strategy to get over these harder courses. Not for Xatu, but then we got some shenanigans going on because stored power. The more the user's stats are raised, the greater the power of this move. It's intentional synergy, but I don't even know if DNA expected it to be this powerful, because yeah, you just have all of your like support characters, make sure you're using allies that boost all the stats of every Pokemon, and then by doing so, you're getting much more damage, and then it can't be taken away from you. So you're just going to get stronger and stronger and stronger over the course of the battle, and that's going to be really awesome. And then power is limitless. If any of the target stats have been raised, the user's same stats are raised by double the amount. What? So this is also just something like, if you see some weird setup going on, you use that, you're receiving buffs, and then eventually you just flip the switch into that stored power, and it's GG. One thing to note though is do not ever get Air Slash. It is not worth it. It's not going to be as good as stored power, and this is what also translates into another reason why Will is the best character, and that's because he can auto all very hard super courses. I think this says it all. Too long, didn't read. Xatu is a good burb. I think good might actually be an understatement. Absolutely broken. So you have to max out his level to level 95 to be able to get like those full autos, just not even caring. Now what makes this incredible is that it is very, very difficult to have reliable autoing for super courses, and sometimes you need like special teams to deal with certain threats. There's some super courses that are just harder than others. My current team setup, I can actually auto all of these super courses with a level 95 Olivia, and then actually let me just show you guys the team I've been using. Except I don't think I have anything remaining. So yeah, This is the team I've been using to auto all the super courses, but then I couldn't do it with Mina. I still had to go in, I still had to do it manually. Xatu can handle all of the very hard super courses, and it's really weird because you could do like very hard co-op Brock and a lot of other very hard co-op challenges on auto. I've actually skipped doing some super courses because I'm just not in the mood, since super courses are actually fairly intensive. You know, you have to do all of those signature abilities, you have to time everything just right, you have to beat out their sync move, and even sometimes if you're doing like a manual with a really strong team, you can just lose super courses with a decent percentage chance, but not with Will. Now, as you guys saw earlier on the video, I don't have Will, I really want to get Will, so we're going to have to use this Reddit post to kind of fill in a lot of the information, and don't worry, we have videos, there's like proof of this. It's not some nobody on Reddit making a wild claim that no one's going to believe or anything. There's receipts, and it really shows how insane all of this is. But another thing I want to also make note of is that I'm not just like copying this Reddit post. The general community consensus is Will is busted, and he objectively clears all of the very hard super courses, which is insane. And the reason why I'm saying that Will is the best character in Pokemon Masters is because of how hard he snowballs your game. That if you get him early on, you're able to do the very hard super courses earlier than the average playthrough, earlier than the average player, and that means you get more resources sooner, you level up your characters to max a lot sooner, and then you're just at the point where you're autoing before anyone else, so you are getting massive advantages that really just compounding on top of each other for having a simple 4-star character. Now, maybe in terms of like raw stats and usability and all these other crazy things that people are saying about the best sync pairs in the games or the most desirable ones, I think Will is more important than all of that, because once you get him, then pretty much there's almost no cliff in the game. You know, there's like a lot of power spikes, there's a lot of parts that will just slow you down to a screeching halt to progress, but with Will, your progression never really slows down. So I think that is incredibly important in a gacha game, a mobile game, something that does have time gates with the super courses and stuff like that. So the team I'm using, Xatu 95, Superior 100, Swanna 75. Superior and Swanna are free units, so everyone can gain access to them. If I had Phoebe Dusclops plus Roxanne Nosepass, I would be able to do slightly quicker runs thanks to crits. Now that's not the end of it, because we also have some advice and a little bit more of a breakdown. What levels or skills are required to auto? I've never tried autoing before level 95, so I can't give a confident answer that is not 95. And there's probably like a couple of team compositions. Maybe if you do get lucky with the Dusclops and you're a complete baller on luck, even with like level 75 through 85, you can auto it right there. But I don't even think that matters, because you can do very hard super courses with the level 85 Superior, with the level 75 Swanna, and with the level 80 Will, and then you do all those tech super courses, you do some autos on the regular training courses, and then you just get Will to level 95 as fast as possible. That can be done in a very short amount of time. You need the Impervious passive, as we talked about, that's what's super busted. Don't learn Air Slash. The AI always uses Air Slash instead of Sword Power before doing their sync move. Although you can still auto all content, as shown above, it adds plus 10 seconds for each auto run. Other than level 95, Xatu needs at least level 80 plus, and then also Superior needs to be level 80 plus, that way it is a tank. The second support is only there as a buff stick, so yeah, you don't even need Swanna. If you just have anything that also boosts all his stats on a team, Lizo would probably be really good, because that's a boost of special defense and special attack, so you're just compounding all kinds of stuff going on right there. So you're not required to level up Swanna, Nosepass, whatever. Start doing auto runs when Swanna was level 40. Man, how does stored power work? That's damage calculation. You can reach 12 buffs with Rosa Superior, Skyla, Swanna, and really, what else do you need? What's your success rate in auto? Roughly 99%. There are 20 super courses you can do each 3-6 times depending on daily reset. That daily reset has been removed. That was like a patch update. They were like, oh, bug fix. Yeah, it doesn't reset at midnight if there was already an existing super course. How can Xatu auto very hard super courses? Secrets and Purvis. And that's pretty much it. You know, the initial idea might be, oh, it's gimmicky and requires setup, but once you realize that sync moves end up clearing all of your stat boosts, then it becomes one of the most important things out there. And that's pretty much going to be it. Now, some people might be like, no way, you know, Karen is definitely the best because, you know, she mega evolves and then you just one-shot everything and she's super good for beating the story. But what you quickly learn is that once you get into the super ultra late game, the most important things become the EX challenges, which are ridiculous, as well as the very hard, and even like some elements of the hard co-op become the most important aspects. So I think at that point it just becomes more about typing, more about matchups, more about training a wide variety of sync pairs, but the best way of training a wide variety of sync pairs is autoing very hard super courses, which Will can do. Now, like I did say, there's other characters, there's other teams, there's other compositions that can do that, but Will, being a 4-star, if you get him, you can do it earlier, you get more resources quicker, and then that is going to be the way to do it. So if you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.